Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully it's not too long since the first video. This is now part 2, and what we're going to talk about is something that if you're watching this on kind of the turn of the year into January, this is something that's really going to help because we're going to go through some of the key concepts of how to build out a really, really good January offer. How did you come up with yours for your business? What was your thought process? Because yours is quite good.
So with mine, it kind of changed over the years when I kind of got more experience of who I enjoyed to coach the most, but who I got best results with. But when I was looking at my promise, I almost kind of looked back to what did I need when I was stuck on these exact things? What did I wish someone could promise me? So I always used to lean on the fact that I always wanted a body transformation to feel good, but I always knew that I wanted to be able to go to work without staring at a laptop screen and just feel fucked all day. Because that's what I used to do. I used to stare at a blank laptop screen. When I went online, I was used to PT in the gym. I went online, I think I got no fucking energy. This is horrible. This is tiring. So when I kind of cultivated my promise, I was kind of thinking to myself, what clients do I enjoy to coach? Who do I want to coach and who am I best at coaching? And then how can I make something that's fucking irresistible? So when these people see it, it's an absolute no-brainer. So the way I see things is people want 3 things. They either want more money, more sex, or more health, or better health. So I kind of think, right, how can I kind of look into that? Or better sex. So I kind of think, how can I look at that? So I thought, if I can help people get an unbelievable body transformation, so I kind of say, build a cover model physique. But alongside that, double your workplace productivity. So we kind of say, right, if we can get you a cover model physique and you now have more authority, self-belief, discipline, focus, energy in the workplace, your productivity is going to go up. What if we now get you a pay rise? What if you now get promotions? So now we're leaning on the fact that they're thinking bigger than, right, I can get this unbelievable body transformation, but I can also thrive in the workplace. So we found with that, we started to attract those type of people. And for me, my promise is now build a cover model physique and double your workplace productivity or your money back. And now people look at that and go, fucking hell, if I can double my workplace productivity, this course will just fucking pay for itself.
Yeah, that's a bit cheeky because that's really hard to quantify as well, isn't it?
I mean, it is. And when we look at the guarantee...
Do you look at the performance reviews from the manager?
No, but we look at the success and we kind of look at the average success of what people get.
Oh, I know it works, but it's really hard to quantify with a guarantee,
so when we look at the actual guarantee is the agreed upon result.
Yeah.
So what we do is we'll sit down with said person, we'll agree on the result that we think this is what we can do with you by this date. You give us 90% compliance, you'll get that result. So the actual guarantee is based around their body transformation, but we almost kind of mark it as a byproduct of this. You also are likely to see discipline, focus, energy, which as a byproduct, again, more workplace productivity.
And then there's a little bit more to yours than that, isn't it? Like what are the methods and the mechanisms?
Yeah, so the kind of methods that we kind of like pitch is the below 60 method and the 2-step dieting method. So we almost see like our clients don't have 2 hours to spend in the gym. So what we say is you're in and out within 60 minutes. So our below 60 method is attractive. It sounds like it builds up a bit, oh, below 60, what's that? So the below 60 method is just being in and out of the gym in 60 minutes. And then we have a 2-step dieting method because we look at more than just, if they're now in the gym, that's great, the energy's high, but then what if they're absolutely fucked in the workplace? So we just kind of look at how we can manipulate their carbohydrate intake, their calories and so forth. So our 2 main methods is manipulating their nutrition for energy, manipulating their training to work within their work schedule. And then that makes the whole strategy easy for them to implement. And when it's simple, because these type of people, everyone, the more simple the fucking plan is, the better. Like I'd done a training with Kickstart and they were like, what should I call my name? I got this idea. And it's like a really long, confusing name. I said, look at all the biggest and best brands. What are they called? Apple, it's a fucking fruit.
But even if you go towards fitness, right? What's the 6-minute abs?
Yeah, like it's shit, but 6-minute abs is a good name.
It's sold like fuck.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Like you can poke holes in it all you want and be like, 6-minute abs is bullshit. How many copies did that sell?
Absolutely.
I don't even know. Can we Google how many copies what's the like the revenue or how many copies the 6-minute abs sell? Because I reckon it's fucking loads,
but it's simple and to the point. 6-minute
insanity
abs.
workout.
Insanity workout. It's like, you know, you look at, even if you got the fitness ones, like fucking, the example I used was KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. What is it? Fried chicken. Where is it? Kentucky. KFC. It fucking makes sense.
I mean, there's one in fucking Newton Heath, to be fair. But
oh, they're fucking everywhere, but they originate in Kentucky, so it makes fucking sense.
Did it actually originate in Kentucky? Are you sure of that?
Wait, it's an educated guess. It's an educated guess.
Can you not? What's not insanity? What's the other one? P90X.
Or you've also
Tony
got
Horton. What's
Mills.
Tony Horton's net worth? I'm sure the guy's called Tony Horton.
Oh, I don't fucking know. No, Tony
It's
Horton.
the same dude. He's dead. I did it. 12 million? 20 million. 20 million. P90X.
That's fucking.
All it was a workout system that apparently helped you burn more fat.
But it's irresistible. People go, burn more fat. This new method. Ooh, exciting.
But I think so many coaches are so caught up in, I have to like, it has to, like there's this like woke culture in fitness now that like, you're not like, everything has to be like supremely explained. Like people, I'll tell you right now, as a former science teacher, most people do not give a fuck about the science.
No, of course they don't. They don't give a fuck.
Because I used to have to sit and drag kids through that on purpose.
Yeah.
I've taught, when they go, they don't teach this in schools. They fucking do.
Yeah.
You didn't listen.
Yeah.
I've taught it.
100%.
I've taught it in 3 different exam boards. EdXL, AQA, and OCR all teach energy balance and diet throughout biology and in the fucking chemistry module.
I remember learning about it in
and
science.
in physics. You are battered it 3 times across all 3 modules. You didn't fucking listen. They do teach you it. You weren't paying attention. You were too busy throwing pencils at the kid over there.
That was me.
Or
That was
flirting with the girl in the corner.
That was also me.
Was that you both?
That was
you
both.
fucking
I was
ADHD
flirting
kid.
like
You
this.
like, bet you look like a right fucking weirdo.
I was a man in school.
But
You're right, though. It's got to be simple.
people don't care. People don't care about it. And you know why? Because they don't want they don't want to have to do maths. Like, and you get coaches like, oh, people don't want to track. No, they don't.
I remember one thing that it was the most heartbreaking thing, but I remember I had someone look at my members area.
Yeah.
So I've got like a full massive education system, every video fucking under the sun. First thing they said, strip away 75%. I said, what the fuck do you mean strip away 75%? Take away 75%. Too much going on. Simplify it. Make it so simple that people just get what they need. I said, I've just spent fucking hours doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
They said, strip it away. It's too complicated. People need simplicity.
But we did that with Kickstart, and I think that's one of the reasons why it works so well. It's because it's like, no, you don't need that. No, what about it? Nope.
Yeah,
What about
absolutely.
nope?
Yeah. And I mean, I get on onboarding calls now and they're like, oh, should I do this, 3-step 497412 fucking lead magnet system? No.
Yeah, should I have a low ticket offer? It's like, bro, you make $2,000.
Yeah, no, you fucking shouldn't.
You are low ticket.
Simplify it and just do the basics really fucking well before you start to move up to more advanced strategy. It's the same thing with like, you get a fitness client on board, you're not going to fucking start getting them on super confusing meal plans and every supplement under
I
the
just
sun
think having a
and-
mechanism for me, like, A, it markets better, and B, people buy into it.
Yeah.
Like, people hate on keto, but there's a reason why people do it. It's because it's got rules, it's got constraints, it's pretty fucking easy to understand.
Yeah.
Don't eat carbs ever.
Yeah.
And people lose weight on it because it's really fucking hard to mess up. It's like, don't eat any, look on the packet. If it's got a 1 in the carb column, do not eat it. Sound.
Have a glass of water and deep breath every night.
Yeah. Whereas I actually think that, like, for a lot of people, like, using MyFitnessPal is quite difficult.
It's one of those, it shouldn't be, but it is.
Because it doesn't have a system. It's like, oh, you've got to eat this much protein and then do that. And they make it, what works miles better than MyFitnessPal, which is exactly the same as MyFitnessPal, if it fits your macros.
Yeah.
If you say to someone, we're going to do if it fits your macros, they go, oh, okay, what does that mean? You go, you can eat whatever you want as long as those numbers match up.
Yeah.
Here's a list of all those things. Cool, I get it.
Yeah, simple.
Whereas if you go, right, what we're going to do is we're going to track all your calories and we're going to use MyFitness. It's too long-winded.
And that's the thing, they
And
don't care about it.
If
They
it
care
fits your
about the
macros,
result.
used to be fucking massive.
Yeah,
It used to be such a huge thing, and you'd be like, people eating cereal and like protein shakes and stuff like that.
It's 'cause
And
people don't care
people
about
have over-scienced it, they've almost made it so boring and lame that nobody wants to do it anymore.
Yeah. And it's the same way, like when someone like, coach go, if someone asks, what do I get? In the program, what should I say? I'll say, well, what would you say? Oh, you get this training program, you get that nutrition program. Right, you're leaning on that. Just tell them the result.
Yeah.
You get a change in life, you get abs, you get more sex, you get this.
And
It's
even
like,
if you
simple.
productize those results,
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
we're gonna use our, like, I don't know,
X method to under 60
I'm
method
shit
to make
at
training
making
get
them up
this.
on-
But it's like overcomplicating everything to justify something that should just be made simple in the first place.
When we first started building pillars with people, which is trying to get them to figure out these mechanisms, we didn't constrain on how many pillars they could have.
Yeah.
Fuck me, the amount of pillars that people used to send back. Right, I've got 9 pillars. Are you building the Pantheon with all of those fucking pillars? Like, fuck me.
Yeah, that's it.
You've got who has 9 pillars? People like sales calls, and you'd be like, right, on to pillar 7. You'd be like,
yeah, fucking 17 hours in.
guys fucking black out, like, asleep. Excuse me.
And then the worst thing is after that, and now we're going to go through
Do you have
absolutely
any
all my client
questions
results.
about the program? Yeah. What was pillar 2 again? And they have to go back to the start.
Fuck that, yeah. No,
We
I
found
agree.
much more success, like, and it almost makes you think about it more because it makes you cut out the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
only allowed 2 pillars. You're only allowed 2 mechanisms. Go. And
Yeah.
you're like, but I do all of these things. And I'm like,
That's the problem.
all of those things aren't important.
That's the problem. You do all those things.
There are 2 things in this whole thing that are important. What are they? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, you don't know your audience well enough. Then go back, think about it, talk to them, figure it out, come back when you've got 2 clear things.
Because that's the thing, the more confusing it is, your audience will run away.
Yeah.
They'll see it, get scared and run. And they'll just fucking run. If you can just go, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is what we do better than everyone else. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that can get me a result. I can do that. And then now you're going to get people like this because they go, oh, I get it. It makes sense. I can do that as well. Because people look at things, they don't believe that they can do it or they believe it's all smoke and mirrors. It's because you're making it sound so fucking confusing.
Yeah, they can't follow the path. They get lost somewhere in the middle and they're like, I don't see where this is going now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I think that's probably the most important thing, getting that set right from the beginning.
That promise is like, you would think is the most simplest and basic thing to get right.
It's hard.
But it's hard and people skirt over it, I find.
Yeah, underestimate the power of it, I think.
They just kind of be like, oh, yeah, right, I've done it. I've made it sound fancier.
It sounds
like,
okay.
It's not about making it sound fancier.
About making it work.
I heard a good analogy on it the other day on a webinar that I was on, like a webinar that I was on of someone else's, where they were like, you should almost be able to, like, the result should be that well pictured that you should almost be able to taste it. Like, there should be no room for like ambiguity or thought process. And actually nowadays, it's even more important because everybody's saying the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So like saying, you know, you're going to get in incredible shape. Like, what is incredible shape? You're going to lose, you know, we'll teach you to lose weight without, you know, helping mums lose weight without without restricting themselves.
And you almost need to help them.
That is so ambiguous. Like, first of all, like, what, because mums are you don't have to like deepen into mums, but you have to deepen into the problems. So like, without restricting themselves. All right. So what is that mum restricting themselves from? Because if it's a mum of a 2-year-old, they're not restricting themselves from eating baby food.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
So you can eat with your family. Well, I've got a 2-year-old, so my 2-year-old doesn't eat with me anyway. Funny enough, they're still eating spaghetti bolognese out of a jar. So I'm probably not going to share that.
Yeah.
That we don't have an issue with me nicking their food. It looks like slop.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had that on sandwiches. You remember, did you ever have a paste butty?
No.
Nah, he's posh.
Tastes disgusting.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have a choice. You get what you're given. But yeah, so like, you've got to label the problem up. So like, without restriction, what is restriction? Like, what does restriction look like to that client?
Absolutely.
Is it all, you know, the other ambiguous one, without giving up your social life?
Yeah, it's too vague.
What's a social life?
Way too
Because
vague.
my social life when I was 25 is way different to my social life now. Like,
Kind of different.
no, it's way different. Like, my social life now is like being able to go out for a meal with like another couple without having to order the shit thing on the menu or without having to skip a starter.
Without
Like,
falling asleep halfway through.
yeah, that to me is like, you know, without having to skip dessert or without having to skip a starter or being able to order what you want at a restaurant. Whereas like 5 years ago, it'd be like, while being able to down a bottle of Jägermeister and still be on your feet and not ruin your progress.
That's it.
And so like, when you say social life, like, those are 2 very different things. However, if you're not pinpoint with the problem that you're trying to solve, it leaves people open to thought. And also, you are saying this, everyone is saying
You
social
become
life.
a generalist, not a specialist.
Yeah.
And people online, they want
And that's where the
specialists
price starts going.
Yeah. And that's when the interest starts going like that as well.
Yeah.
I was going to whistle. I can't whistle.
Can you not whistle?
Not like that, no. I sound like I'm blowing like
Like,
a
I can't whistle like this. Like, I think I always think that's a proper manly skill, that, you know, when like you're at when somebody like skies the ball at football and like,
The worst thing is when you think I'm going to try and do it and you go,
yeah, you just spit all
fuck's
over
sake.
yourself in public. Yeah, it's never a good look, that. But yeah, that's something that I think a lot of people don't consider.
I think when people do their marketing around a launch in particular, if the audience can almost look at that and actually see their life with what you're promising. Like, I was actually talking to one of the CEO clients the other day, and he was talking about how he wanted to know what he should have said when this woman was basically talking about how she wanted kids down the line. And he went straight onto it going, okay, what's the biggest struggle with that? But like, the questions you should be asking there is, okay, great, what gender do you want your child to be? You know, what names are you thinking of? Now all of a sudden they're picturing them holding their little girl called Layla walking down the park, and now they can picture it and it means that much more. So if you're creating content and now this person can picture it, now they can, you know, maybe have more presence. Like for me, one thing I lean on is having more presence with their family because they're stressed and overwhelmed at work. So if they can picture them going home and actually spending time and being present with their son or their wife, that to them means everything. If I just give them a bunch of fucking confusing bullshit, they ain't going to be able to picture nothing and they ain't going to want it as much and their why don't become as strong.
Yeah, for sure. So with that then, that's like the promise part of the offer. What are the other things that make up a really good offer? Like make up a really good launch?
I mean, the first thing is it has to be in celebration of something. So if you're just
big on that, aren't you?
Yeah. If you're just launching and going, hey guys, I'm looking for 5 people. You know, you want to drop some fat? Here I am. But if it's to celebrate X and we're looking for 5 people and this is what you can get and this is the irresistible offer and this is the promise. And all of a sudden it's looking like a big celebration, almost like a giveaway. So like now when I launch, I try to tie in some kind of giveaway to the launch. So now it becomes an event. So if you can make your launch an event and a celebration that people are kind of getting behind and backing and think, oh, that's really cool. Like to celebrate 5-year anniversary of our program, to celebrate going into a brand new year, to celebrate, you know, coming out of lockdown, you know, to celebrate just finishing 75 hard, whatever you're doing that you find a personal accomplishment, an anniversary, to celebrate my birthday. If you've got these celebrations that people can get behind, it creates so much more spark and it almost gives purpose behind the launch. Because if not, you're just launching like, hey, I'm looking for clients. But if there's purpose behind why you want to do this, people get behind it so much more.
Yeah. And this is where we pull out, like I talk about when we talk about scarcity, like local and general.
Yeah.
Like there's the same thing with the celebration, right? It can be a local celebration. Like this is something to do with the business.
Yeah.
So this is like my birthday. The business is this.
Yeah.
This is X to do with us. We've reached this many clients. We've just got this many results. We've just crossed this many, you know, people getting a transformation. We've just finished our last photo shoot and now we're opening the doors for the next one.
Yeah.
That's all local, right?
Yep.
Whereas then you've got also global stuff. So you've got New Year's, you've got you know, Valentine's Day, you've got summer.
There's seasonal launches. Every single month there's going to be something.
Halloween. Obviously pick the ones that are relative to your audience, especially like Sam's were just launching like one for the CrossFit Open.
Yeah, that works. Like, and not only that, you can almost tie an offer in with this. So like when I done a training the other day, it's like, right, if you're launching for Valentine's Day, what if you can get a little offer for couples that join together? Because it makes sense to the event. So if you're launching Valentine's Day.
And that's about like, well, what do I put from a bonus is like, think about what you're actually doing.
So if you go on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, I'm looking for 5 clients, right? It don't really make fucking sense. Or if it's happy Mother's Day, we're looking for 5 clients. To celebrate 5 awesome mothers that do X, Y, Z, we're on board and you're also going to get this, this, and this as a big, you know, gratitude thing to celebrate Mother's Day. Something like that, that's a celebration of Mother's Day. Mothers are going to look at that and go, oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Makes sense.
And some of this you've also, I think you've got to have confidence in your service to like retain clients and back yourself. Because I think of some January offers that could be really good. And I'm like, listen, we only want really serious people that are going to outlast the January rush. So what we're going to do is you put down a small deposit, say your program's like $250 a month, right? You pay £50 a month. We're only going to charge you the rest if you get out of January. So if you're somebody serious and you make it into February, then we're going to charge you full price. So you'll only pay 50 quid for January. So if you fall off, it's on you, your problem.
Yeah.
But if you stick it out, you're going to get a month for free.
Yeah. That's it.
Now, people will be like, oh, I'm going to lose money. And I'm like, well, no, you're not, because you're going to sign up like 7 times more clients than you would have done. And hedge your bet that you're a good enough coach to keep most of them into February. Yeah, you might push a little bit of revenue further down the line, but the overall reward of what that launch is going to get will be massive.
Yeah, massively. Thinking long term. Absolutely.
It's not even long term, it's 4 weeks.
Yeah, but
and a lot of the people that are going to take you up on that offer are going to be people that were on the fence that probably weren't going to buy if you went with your normal offer anyway.
So if you can get them, sometimes it's all about just getting people's foot in the door. If you can get their foot in the door and your program's that fucking good, they're going to stay with you.
And it's just being a bit inventive about it as well, isn't it? And like,
and not copying everyone else.
But you've got to be able to have a bit of a play with it. I think you've got to be confident in your own retention rate to where if you offer some people something a little bit stupid, like you can back yourself to like make it work.
Yeah.
And I think you've also got to think about upside rather than downside. So whenever I come up with a cool idea and I'm like, look, you could run something like this and this would go mad, because it will go mad because you know it's a bit stupid to run. Like even clients will be like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Why would I not do that? And that's how your offers have got to look.
Irresistible.
You've got to think of upside. You've got to think, right, well, and I think a lot of coaches think of downside. They have like a bit of a scarcity mindset with it. And they go, well, what if nobody carries on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Yeah, but what if 70% of people carry on?
That's
and I'm
it.
like, you're probably more likely to have a 70%
And
retention
it's the
rate
same
than
thing
have a
looking
zero.
at like, you know, Black Friday. Cause I mean, I've been so conditioned for so long to think, premium products, I can't do anything to my program, or I'm giving anything else extra, you know, but then I kind of looked at it and thought, am I programmed like that because I don't back myself to then get enough people on board or continue to have the authority that I have within the marketplace at this moment in time? So I thought, let me fucking try this. And I thought, right, if I'm telling everyone else to do this as well, that's a fucking risk. But I back myself to make this shit work. And I'm going to show everyone else how to make it work. And I think if you can kind of attach that mindset to your marketing, it almost makes it impossible to fail. Because if you go half-ass at it, that's when you're going to be fucked.
I think it does help with experience as well, because we've obviously, you know, the amount of time we've been in business, we've detached ourselves from the money. So you've detached your pocket from the business finance. Whereas I think a lot of people are still in that scenario. So they're like, fuck it, I might lose out on 100 quid. And 100 quid was never yours in the first place.
Yeah, the same way we look at the Stripe and think, that's all mine. You think, tax, VAT, fuck us.
Yeah, but cool. So key things there. Have a reason for the launch. Always put a purpose behind it. Really, really work on your promise. And don't be afraid with your kind of offers and bonuses and things in that nature to be a little bit flexible with it and have a play around with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is how to put together, or some key concepts you need to consider for your January offer. Now, if you want a little bit more help with that, click the link below. We're going to put a link to a training that I did that was like a 10-minute long thing. We gave it out in our free Facebook group, which is also going to be linked underneath. So make sure you join that, because then you'll get access to all these extra little trainings we do. And the link will be there for you to download that 10-minute training video as well. Make sure you subscribe. If you like all that stuff and you want more help like that, also make sure that you notify yourself with the bell icon, and then you'll find out all the new stuff that we put out.